Hey, hey, hey. Happy Friday. Welcome to Mutant Genesis, the stream that we have all been looking for. People are already in the chat. It is go time, nerds. Yeah. Hey, everybody. Hey, Strange Solutions. Hey, Karokai. Hey, Valkyrian, Vinyl Scratch. Welcome. I am so very pumped. I was able to go down to my FLGS today, grab all of these packs. We got Mutant Genesis, we got Cyclops, we got Phoenix. It's a huge release day for Marvel Champions today. So we're going to be unboxing this. We're going to be looking at the 4 new heroes. We're not going to take a peek at some of the villains. We may look at the villains just a little bit, but I do want to play through a blind playthrough starting sometime early next week, and we're going to be playing through that. But I am so pumped. So tonight, so much stuff. It really is. This is, I mean, like this is 273 cards, and each one of these are 60. So, I mean, 393 cards. Let's go. Like I would take this. It's very exciting. It is so very exciting. Plus, it's X-Men. It's literally happened. It has happened. We've been talking about this for so long at this point, and it is now sitting right here in front of me on my table, and I could not be more thrilled. So tonight, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be unboxing these, and then we're going to pick one of these heroes to go through and start the hero spotlight. I'm hoping that we will finish the hero spotlight, but also I do have to sleep at some point, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, we got a lot of stuff to unbox today. So I'm going to start with the big boy. We're just gonna dive right into it, dive into Mutant Genesis, and start there. We'll set these off to the side. I am so pumped. I don't know if you can hear that in my voice, but also, since between last stream and this stream, we did pass the 300 follower mark. So thank you so very much for following the channel. I really do appreciate it. It does mean a lot. So it's really exciting. I was not expecting to log on today and see, a 300 followers, but I do appreciate it. Oh, this is exciting. Whew. So, of those in the chat, who has played? I know Strange Solutions. You're playing right now. I believe you're playing some Jean Grey, some Phoenix, and then has anyone played all 4 of them yet? I guess is another question. Has anyone played all 4 of the? We're gonna put that right there. Has anyone played all 4 of the heroes, and do you have a favorite? This feels like oh my gosh, I am so excited. Gene Alpa will probably break. Nice. So we will be going through the campaign but there is some, I know a lot of people like to go through the campaign by themselves starting out. And I want to do a blind playthrough for the campaign as well. And so we're going to be doing all 4 of the hero spotlights before we start into the campaign. So we're going to play through every single one of these heroes through 4 games, 1 in each of the aspects, which pushes us into next week, which gives a lot of time for people who are playing through the campaign to make it past the first couple scenarios so that I'm not spoiling anything. But oh, it got delayed in Canada until October 28th. No, that's so sad. I'm sorry about that. Hey, how's it going? Oh, okay. So we got Colossus, we got Shadowcat, and then we've got our villain packs. That's a blue back. I'm wondering if that's a campaign card, but Sabretooth. So I was fortunate enough to be able to play Sabretooth at Gen Con. So I've already played Sabretooth. We may actually run Sabretooth, who is the first villain in the campaign. We may actually run him for one of these hero spotlights. Maybe not tonight, because I do think Sabretooth is a longer game because he's continuously healing, and that can be kind of a lot. Vinyl Scratch, your order just shipped out earlier, but you're most excited for Colossus. I'm with you there, Vinyl Scratch. Colossus is the one that I am most excited for. I think Colossus, and then I am excited for what the deck building options look like for Cyclops as well. But Colossus, when I saw him, I was like, that is my playstyle. That's exactly what I want in a hero. And so I would be surprised if Colossus does not make it into at least top 10 for me, just based off of what I've seen. But we'll see how he plays, because sometimes heroes can be different. Are or they can be they play very differently than what they read. And so I'm hoping that doesn't really change. I'm hoping that does change for Shadowcat. So let's start with Shadowcat. We'll unbox Shadowcat first. This is the one I'm least excited about. And we'll go through why we're going to do that. Since we are going to be doing the hero spotlights, we're going to talk and sleeve at the same time. We're going to be doing some exciting double tasking. So multitasking, that's a justice card. We're going to be doing some of that. So hopefully y'all get to see my sleeving techniques as well. Alrighty, so the first hero up is Shadowcat. So this is Kitty Pryde. So Shadowcat has a 2/2/2 stat line, so pretty solid, actually, pretty solid there. 2/2/2. She has selective intangibility. So while you're in phased mass form, Shadowcat ignores the guard and patrol keywords and any crisis icons. Which the reason that I'm not super excited for her is that seems so situationally good, right? Like it doesn't seem like it's going to be that good, but I'm pretty sure Hit kind of messes with that a little bit. So we'll see how that goes. So Shadowcat and then Kitty Pryde, 3 recovery mutants on the alter ego side. Setup, put your mass form upgrade into place solid side face up, and then as an action on her alter ego side, she can flip her mass form upgrade limit once per round. So this is her mass form upgrade phased. Shadowcat, while Shadowcat is defending, she cannot take damage. And then after you attack or defend in phase mass form, flip this card. So that's kind of interesting, right? Because it's a free turn for the villain phase. So that's kind of interesting. And then solid mass form permanent, exhaust this card, generate a physical resource for an attack or a defense event. And then after you attack or defend in solid mass form, flip this card. I actually did not remember this side of the card. That makes it a little bit more exciting to just have a hero resource starting on the table and you start in solid mass form. She actually could be a really fun protection hero. She could be a really interesting protection hero. Okay, so we got Lockheed. So this is her signature ally. I love the 2 costs. I love the 2 cost Lockheed. It's a 1/1/2 and then it's a response. After Lockheed enters play, if you're in solid mass form, deal 2 damage to an enemy, or phase mass form, remove 2 threat from a scheme. That's an incredible card right there. Just a really solid entering play ability for 2 cost. Absolutely beautiful. Kitty's Room gives us a little bit more reason to go down to alter ego. So it's a 1 cost support. Exhaust Kitty's Room. If you are in solid form, heal 2 damage, phase, draw a card. Very cool. Very cool. Okay. I like that. I can dig that. Next, we've got Acute Control. So this is where I was saying that she kind of messes with the guard and patrol. So I think she actually has some cards that give them, but we'll look at them here in a second. But hero response, after you ignore the guard or patrol keyword on a minion, exhaust this and deal 2 damage to that minion. I like that. Intangible interference is the same thing, but for threat. So after you ignore the crisis icon on a scheme, remove 2 threat from that scheme. Again, it just feels so situational, right? How many times do you have crisis out there? And maybe more in this campaign and going forward, but we'll see. Phased and Confused. Hey, Valkyron, thanks for the sub. I appreciate it. Thank you. Phased and Confused. Hero form only, attached to an enemy, max 1 per enemy. So this is an upgrade that you attach to an enemy. So we've got Forced Interrupt. When the attached enemy would attack, discard this card instead, then confuse that enemy. All right. Hey, yes, you got the Tony Stark. Oh yeah, I do have emotes for subscribers. We've got the Tony Stark and then some other ones that were commissioned. So there's a couple of them out there spanning across a couple of the different games. So Phased and Confused, 3 for a stun, effective stun, and a confuse, but it also works on stalwart enemies. So it's a stun for a stalwart enemy, which is really nice. So that's good. Also, we will be kind of taking a look as we're going through here at what kind of traits we have. So we have conditions, but we have a lot of superpowers, and that's what we're going to see with the with the mutants is we're going to have a lot of superpowers in the mutants. I'm hoping that we get a reprint of Death Focus, but if not, we always have Death Focus right there within arm's length. So Death Focus is a resource generator for superpower cards because we're probably going to have a lot of them. So Shadowcat Surprise, deal 3 damage to an enemy, ready your hero. Well, that's nice. That's a nice little card right there. 2 cost. 3 and ready. Okay. So I also can just read that as a 2 cost for 3 damage and 2 threat mitigation. So that's pretty nice. Death Focus everywhere. Just all of the Death Focus. Because Phase Strike is also a superpower. This is a 3 cost attack event. Deals 6 damage to an enemy. If you are in phased mass form, you may discard an attachment with the text hero action or hero response from that enemy. Alrighty, so we're seeing a little bit of Vision coming back because Vision had a card very similar to that. Let me see if I can get all of these on screen. We're just gonna move these up. But Vision had a very similar card. I don't quite recall what that card was called, but it's a nice way to get rid of some of those annoying ones. We got another superpower, Airwalk. 1 cost event, hero action, remove 2 threat from a scheme, 4 threat if you are in phased mass form, and then phased mass form. Okay, so you only flip when you attack or defend. So this thwart would not have you flip, and so that's a 1 for 4. That is some solid stuff right there. That's called efficiency. Get 2 of those. Quick Shift, a defense event. So as a 0 cost, when an enemy attacks, if you are in solid mass form, change to phase mass form, meaning that you won't take any damage. So that's pretty slick. Phase mass form, you get to draw 2 cards. Ooh, nice. And this does have the defense keyword, so it would flip you if you are in phase mass form. It would force response you to flip back into solid form because it is it's a forced response on the phased. So it gets you 2 cards. So it adds 1 card to your hand, but it also counts as a defense, so you can trigger any of your defense upgrades like Flow Like Water or anything like that. So for a 0, I love 0 cost defense events. So okay, so that is her kit. I honestly thought that there was going to be ways to add Crisis or Patrol, but maybe not. Doesn't look like that. Also, I have not looked at any of the spoilers outside of what has been released on the FFG site, so I know a lot of these cards are out, and so that's why I may not know exactly what's in all of these. But she will be one that will be interesting to play and see how she plays, because she seems really strong. It's just that this whole selective intangibility does not seem super relevant, but the rest of her kit seems pretty strong, so we may be fine. Alrighty, we're diving into our aspect cards now. So we've got Wolverine. Wolverine is a 4 cost ally, pretty hefty there. X-Men traded. Wolverine attack gains piercing. After your turn begins, heal 1 damage from Wolverine. That feels very on brand for Wolverine. It's a 1/3/4. I mean, that's a lot of damage that can hang out. It's a lot of damage. It's also kind of fun because now what you're going to be looking for is trying to find ways that you can exhaust him and use him to heal him up a couple of rounds before you kind of attack again, because you don't want to attack 3 times in a row, because at that point you would die, right? You go 2, heal to 1, go to 3, heal. So you could get 3 attacks, so 9 damage out of them. Or if you hung out for a couple of rounds, you could get even more. It's kind of interesting. It's a long play. Next we got Magic. So we've seen Magic before, but Magic is after you play Magic from your hand, spend a mental resource, choose a non-elite minion engaged with an X-Men hero, shuffle that minion into the encounter deck. So a little bit of minion control there. This Wolverine and Cyclops deck, it is? Oh yeah, the Wolverine in Cyclops decks, yeah, it's gonna be sweet. I'm excited for that one because the Cyclops' whole gimmick is that he can put X-Men from any aspect into his deck, which I love the doors that opens up. I am so excited for seeing where we go with that. But Wolverine, and then if you're running like a protection Cyclops or a leadership Cyclops or something like that, where you have access to healing, oh, it's gonna be something. Alrighty, we got attack training. So attached to an X-Men ally, you get 1 training per ally, and then the attached ally gets +1 attack and +2 hit points. Let's go. Let's just beef Mr. Wolverine up as high as he possibly can. Oh, that's gonna be fun. That's just gonna be fun. It's gonna be slow, but it's gonna be hilariously fun. Alrighty, we got Gatekeeper. Okay, so these are the cards that I was looking for. These are kind of the cards I was looking for. So attached to a minion. Attached minion gets +2 hit points and gains patrol. So Shadowcat can ignore patrol, and then she can activate some stuff when she does so. As an interrupt, when the attached minion is defeated, remove 4 threat from the main scheme. That's some nice threat mitigation in red that we don't have a ton of. Well, this is a card that the fishing for minion decks are just gonna love. The Bring It's and the Looking for Trouble and all of that. It's gonna be a fun deck to run. We got Team Strike. Play only if your identity has the X-Men trait. It's a hero action. Attack. Exhaust your hero and any number of X-Men allies. Deal X damage among enemies in play, where X is the total attack of the characters you exhausted this way. Well, there you go. That's what I was talking about. Having Wolverine hang out so he's not taking that consequential damage and instead healing. Love. I feel like this pack is just built around Wolverine. Just having Wolverine do as much as he possibly can. We've got a toe-to-toe, so we have seen this card before, but this is a new art for it. So I'm really happy that they are doing this. Toe-to-toe, choose an enemy. The enemy attacks you. Deal 5 damage to the enemy. Something that we have seen before, something that's situationally good, but I do love seeing the alternate art. Aggressive Energy is our next card. Max 2 per deck. Hero Interrupt. When you spin this card to play an attack event, that event deals +1 damage. Interesting. Very situational, I think. Very situational. Like, this is great for, because it's a wild, it's great for your drop kicks. It's great for triggering hone techniques and everything that requires something to, like a kicker, like you need a specific type of resource to pay for it, or requirement. Aggressive Energy works well for that. I'm hoping that we see more kind of events that we would like that for, but that +1 damage could come in really handy. Well, I mean, okay, so like think about it like at 1x1, or yeah, 1x1. Yeah, 1x1. Deal 2 damage to an enemy. If this attack defeats an enemy, deal 2 damage to an enemy. That becomes a 3/3, or melee becomes a 4/4. Melee hone technique. Aggressive Energy becomes a 7/7. Then an embiggened, oh my gosh, okay, hold on. An embiggened Aggressive Energy, hone technique, melee, and Miss Marvel becomes a 9/9. Okay, that's just fun. That's just fun right there. I need to run that deck. Okay, so we got Colossus. It's a 4 cost of 1/3/3. Reduce the cost to play Colossus by 1 if your trait has the mutant or X-Men trait. I like it. So it's a pretty solid 3 cost ally for in gray. X Mansion. Ooh. As an alter ego action. Okay, so it's giving us reasons to go down to alter ego, which is something that I am really looking forward to more in this game. So exhaust X Mansion, heal 1 damage from a mutant or X-Men character. Any player whose alter ego has the mutant trait may trigger this ability. That's the other thing that we're seeing with the with all of the mutants and all of the X-Men, is that they work as a team. And so we're seeing a ton of team up cards. We're seeing a lot of cards like this where multiple people can play off of it. Their X Carrier, which we'll see here in a second, is similar to that, but X Mansion I like. It's like a souped up crew quarter. So if you're running solo, run crew quarter. You don't need to you don't need to pay the extra cost for the X Mansion, but if you are running a multiplayer, X Mansion feels really solid. We got Shadow and Steel. So this is a team up Colossus Shadowcat. So max 1 per deck. This is an attack and a defense. Interesting. Okay. So when an enemy attacks, prevent all damage from that attack and deal 4 damage to the attacking enemy. Love it. I love this. This is very sweet. Ah, that's cool. That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be really fun. Oh, cool. That's almost worth like running just like the Colossus ally in Shadowcat 4, and you just have Colossus hanging out with a team strike. Like I feel like a Shadowcat Colossus team strike type aggression deck with a Shadow and Steel can just be really solid because you're preventing all damage and dealing 4 for 2. Just the 2 for 4 is kind of what you. It's a little bit on the underpower side for like a non-hero card, but pretty slick. We got reprints of Ready to Rumble. So after you change form, discard this card and ready your hero. So this works really well with Shadowcat because she's changing phased form. Or if you're flipping up, I think Colossus is also very similar, where you like to see Colossus rolling up and down a lot. But glad we're getting alternate art. Speaking of alternate art, these are some of the cards honestly I'm most excited for. Is that bad to say? But I'm just happy that we're seeing new strength, genius, and energy art cards. Look at those. Ah, they're so much prettier. Actually, I don't even know if that's true. I've seen the other ones so much. But we've got strength, energy, and genius. The one thing that I will say is I do wish we kind of got some of these alt arts for the Guardians and for the spiders and some of the other boxes and waves that we've seen. It would have been cool to see, you know, strength, energy, and genius for those, but I'm not complaining because these are really solid. Okay, we've got our obligation. So flip to your mass form. Flip your mass form upgraded to phase. You cannot attack, defend, or change mass form. And as an alter ego, you have to exhaust Kitty Pryde to remove this from the game. That's pretty tough. That's pretty tough. White Queen. This is her nemesis minion. White Queen is a 1/1/5 villainous. When she is engaged with you, oh wow, oh shoot, that's cool. Okay, so while White Queen is engaged with you, you are confused. You are just always confused when White Queen is there. Wow, that's tough. The Hellfire Club. When defeated, the player who defeats this scheme searches the encounter deck, a discard pile, and set aside area for a copy of Hellfire Pawn minion and puts it into play engaged with them. Shuffle. The Hellfire Pawn is a 1/2/3 guard, patrol, and surge. So you're putting it into play, so you're not going to activate the surge. But I mean, that's not horrible because Kitty can kind of sneak around it and do some nice things whenever you do sneak around them. It's just adding that in there. I wish that was a crisis icon, I guess. Maybe that would have been too easy to take care of. Oh no, my pack, the card's a little dinged. No. We got Telepathic Restraint. So attached to your identity, while Telepathic Restraint is attached to your identity, you are stunned. These are brutal but very cool cards. Spend 2 mental resources to discard this card. Oof. Well, there you go. That is Kitty Pryde Shadowcat. I'm kind of leaning that I may want to run her tonight. We'll see. I'm going to save Cyclops for last. I think Cyclops is going to be the last one because I do want to play around with a lot of the allies to get a feel for the X-Men allies, and so I think they're going to be my last one that I do is Cyclops. But here we go. So these cards are going to go in my binder, so I'm just going to keep them out there, and then these are going to go. I'm just going to put them away now. So did anyone see a card that they are super excited about in Kitty's deck or in the aggression cards that came with Kitty's deck? I'm gonna keep these out just because I like looking at them. Out of that deck, I think I'm most out of her cards, I think I'm most excited for this. What was I thinking? This guy, the 3-cost upgrade. Yeah, Phased and Confused. I really like that. Not that excited about here, unfortunately. Definitely Wolverine. Yeah, I think yeah. Karokai, I'm just here listening right now, so hyped to order this stuff. Yeah. Yeah. I think Phased and Confused looks like the most interesting card out of there. Wolverine though looks pretty slick. You need to wait until the 10th after you buy a Nintendo Switch for my sister and pay for my gym membership and personal trainer. Nice. That's nice of you, getting a Switch for your sister. That's awesome. Alright, let's dive into Colossus. I'm also really excited about Colossus because he is coming with a protection precon, and you know me, I love protection. Still no depth focus so far, but let's just look at Kitty real quick. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards out of her 15 that depth focus can pay for. That's a lot. She passed university in July and it's her birthday in July, so I told her I'm gonna get her a massive. That's awesome. That's super nice of you. Congratulations to her. Congratulations to her. Alrighty, let's dive into Colossus, which is probably who I am most excited for out of the 4. Though Jean doesn't look pretty cool too. So Colossus is X-Men traded, as if that was a surprise to anybody. Colossus can have 1 additional tough status card, which I love. I love that idea. Steel Scan, after you change to this form, give Colossus the tough status card. So he starts with a tough status card, preventing all the damage of the next attack. And then Peter Rasputin, set up, search your deck for 1 copy of Organic Steel and add it to your hand. I'll go find that card here in a sec. An Aspiring Artist, after you change to this form, shuffle a Colossus card from your discard pile back into your deck. I know Josh from Get Up and Game is going to enjoy that ability. So let's go find Organic Steel. So Organic Steel is a card with 2 uses. After a tough status card is discarded from Colossus, exhaust this card, remove 1 steel counter, and give Colossus a tough status card. This sounds so incredibly fun. 4 recovery, 14 hit points. Only a 4 hand size in hero form, but that's fine. Because there's going to be some card draw here. But all about getting those tough status cards and using those tough status cards as resources. There he is. Yes. Haha. I'm so pumped. Hey, here's Shadowcat. So Shadowcat's actually the signature ally for Colossus. So while she had not Colossus was a basic ally. We got Shadowcat. Shadowcat ignores the guard and patrol keywords and any crisis icons in play. She's a 3-cost 2/2/3. That's pretty solid. Kind of situational, but still a 3/2/2 with 3 is not completely out of the picture of being reasonable. And then if there are guard or patrol minions, then that does help you get around that. Okay, we got the studio. Alter Ego action. Again, love more cards that incentivize you going down to Alter Ego. So exhaust the studio, discard cards from your deck until you discarded a Colossus card, add that card to your hand. Nice. 1 cost support for probably going to be at least 1 card. So after 3 turns, it's going to overpay for itself. It pays for itself in 2 turns. Love it. Plus, we really like his cards. Karokai, I love Colossus, and yeah, Colossus. Cyclops, you know. Possibly 2 with team building exercise to play Shadowcat. That is true. That's another thing, is that team building exercise could work really well because in a lot of these cards, because all of your allies are going to be like that. And then also all of the locations are X-Men traded. Oh, I thought that was a glare on the card. It's actually just part of the art. I'm like over here like shifting, trying to get the glare off. But all of these are X-Men traded as well. So like the X Mansion, a couple of the other cards that we're about to see are X-Men traded, so team building exercise can put in some work, especially in Cyclops. I'm actually tempted to as hell to try two-handed Colossus Cyclops when I get this stuff. You should definitely do that. Iron Will, Colossus gets +1 thwart, bringing him to a 2/2/2, and then after a tough status card is discarded from Colossus, draw one card. I am so excited for Colossus. I can't. This is sick. This is sick. Then we got Titanium Muscles, so Colossus gets +1 attack, so it's a 2/3/2. Superpower traded. We are also at 2/4 superpower cards already, so Death Focus is already in play. Exhaust this card, generate a physical resource for each tough status card on Colossus. I remember seeing these, like Josh and I did a tandem video at Con of Heroes actually, because they announced Mutant Genesis like the day of, or the day before Con of Heroes, and it was the same day that they released Nova and Ironheart. That was a good weekend. If you have not gone to Con of Heroes, or if you are on the fence about going to Con of Heroes, highly recommend doing that. Made of Rage. This is superpower, but it's also zero costed, so Death Focus doesn't really help us here. When you make a basic attack, discard a tough status card from your hero, +6 attack, and that attack gains overkill. Dumb. Especially if you have organic steel, then you discard this off, you get it right back. Oh my gosh. Got 2 copies of those. Next up, we've got Steel Fist. So another superpower traded, so definitely running Death Focus in this deck. Deal 5 damage to an enemy. You can discard a tough status card from your hero, stunning, confuse that enemy. Huge. We get 3 copies of that. The fact that he has Confuse in his kit, right? That's the only thing that I think Colossus may struggle with, is because he's going to be wanting to jump down to Alter Ego. He only has that 1 thwart, and then with the Iron Will, that does bump up to 2, but you're going to do a lot of damage, and you're not going to take a lot of damage. But are you going to be able to manage threat? That's kind of the question. But being able to have Confuse in the kit, yeah, you're going to be just fine. Huh. These sleeves are kind of wonky. I don't know if you can see it. Like, Dragon Shields sometimes do that. I don't know why. Bulletproof Protector. So this is a superpower 0 cost. Discard a tough status card and choose to give your hero 2 tough status cards. Love that. Or ready your hero. Beautiful. Combat Prowess is going to be great with Steel Fist as well if you play Colossus and Aggression. Combat Prowess. Is that a new... Why am I missing Combat Prowess? Is that a new card that I just haven't seen yet? Or am I just completely missing a card? Oh, by the way, Nelson, I like the background lights being the aspect color. It's a cool feature. Thank you so very much. I did purple because it was kind of purple, and then we'll switch it to whatever the aspect is. But yeah, I love lights. My training is optical engineering. That's what I studied. Martial prowess. Yes. Okay. Yes. Totally agree with that. Yeah, because this is an attack. You got a lot of attacks. Also, martial prowess is a resource, right? I always forget. Yeah, it's a resource. So you can combine that with Death Focus to pay for Steel Fist by completely free. I'd also make a small recommendation about the color. Since red is an aspect and it's also the villain HP color, maybe making the villain HP like a purple or orange may be good for contracts. I like it. Yeah, I can do that. I can definitely do that. Last week I got a pack of Dragon Shield, but the back part of the sleeves were 1/4 centimeter. Really? Ooh. Well, that's frustrating. I have had Dragon Shields that pack to pack they're different sizes, and that's frustrating, but that's not good. That's really not good. Did you contact him and get him, or like get him switched out? Alrighty, next up we've got Armor Up. This is, I think, the card that I'm most excited about in this entire expansion. Armor Up is an alter ego interrupt. When the villain activates, change to hero form. And so therefore the villain is then attacking rather than scheming. So Armor Up allows you to roll down, get your hand size, and then flip back up. And then I am so pumped for that card. You replace the pack. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's so frustrating. I'm sorry about that. Colossus looks so cool. He does. He is the one that I am most excited for. That's why I'm probably going to play Colossus tomorrow morning, because I want to have just an absurd amount of energy for Colossus, and I'm so ready for Colossus because he just looks so freaking cool. 2 tough status cards, uses those tough status cards as resources. Let's go. I am so pumped for that. Okay, let's get into his aspect cards that he got. We got Nightcrawler. I really want Nightcrawler as a hero. I think is it Nightcrawler that people think are going to be the next hero? I know Gambit's one of them, so it's probably not Nightcrawler. It's probably someone else, but Nightcrawler, 3 cost, protection, 2/2. Okay, I do like the 2 threat, or the 2 thwart here. Rogue, that's it. Okay, thank you. There's Rogue and Gambit. Yeah. I don't think it was confirmed, but since they put it on those dividers, people are it's pretty much confirmed. I love the 2 thwart here. This is excellent. When an X-Men character would take any amount of damage from an enemy attack, spend a lightning resource and return Nightcrawler to your hand, prevent all of that damage. I love everything that card says. I like that card a lot. I don't know if it works super well in Colossus's deck. Maybe. Like, I guess like the nice thing is that you can get multiple iterations out of that 2 thwart. But like Colossus having all the tough status cards, which you're probably not going to want to be using a lot of those for soaking damage. But he also has 14 hit points. So Colossus feels very similar to Groot in the sense that like his hit points are protected. So things like Nightcrawler, I think, are going to work a lot better in decks that don't have just an absurd amount of hit points in defense. Strange Solution. I was doing well until I drew Shadows of the Past, Jean's minion. Might as well be a villain. That's one of the reasons I am most excited about Phoenix, is her minion. It's an additional loss condition. It's so cool. Hey Spidey Sense, hello and good day. Still on the core set, but love your videos. Really looking at this. Thank you so very much. Happy to have you here. The core set is phenomenal. And so much of the stuff that they've put out for this game is just incredible. Final Scratch, I believe Nightcrawler works pretty well in multiplayer. Oh, I am such a solo-minded person that I didn't even think about that. But it is when an X-Men character would take any amount of damage from an enemy attack. So yeah, so that could be a interesting. I want to see if there are going to be X-Men allies that have benefits when they defend. So I'm thinking about like the Peter Parker, or not the Peter Parker, but the Spider-Man in protection, or like Daredevil in protection, where when you defend, you deal damage back. Now that they're not X-Men, but if we can see some cards like that, then it incentivizes you defending with your X-Men, preventing it with Nightcrawler, and still triggering that ability. And so maybe like Cyclops could really mess around with that. Polaris, it's a 1/2/3 hero, ally. After Polaris enters play, give an X-Men character a tough status card. Love that. That's excellent. That's excellent right there. I should not be sleeving these. These go in the binder, so they don't need to be sleeved. Strange Solution. I had Logan out with attack training. That's some high hit. Yeah, that's a 4 attack. That's incredible. Like, I'm just looking at Sabretooth right here in standard mode on stage 1. He has 13. So 4 attack is almost 25% of his damage on one ally attack. I mean, granted, Sabretooth heals a ton, but that's pretty cool. Protective training. We got some more training cards. Attach to an X-Men ally One training ally, attached ally gets +3 hit points. I am really now looking forward to the Cyclops protection build. Throw this on Logan, throw this on some of the other allies, off aspect allies. That's going to be nice. +3 hit points. I guess like the attack training probably is a little bit better for Logan because it does give him 2 hit points, but that's pretty cool. We got powerful punch. Ooh, this is another one of those attack defense cards. When an enemy initiates an attack, deal 4 damage to that enemy. Huge. Love that. That's going to be some major minion control right there because it's when they initiate the attack, so it's before damage gets dealt, and so you can initiate, kill a minion, and then negate that attack all out. It's also a defense, which is interesting, right? Because first hit is the card that kind of goes to my mind as being very similar to this, but first hit is not defense traded. It's only an attack, and so this allows you to trigger all of your defense upgrades, flow like water, all of that kind of stuff. Very cool. We got bait and switch, which we've seen before. The villain attacks you and you remove 4 threat from the main scheme. We'll see. Really looking forward to Logan as an ally. Yeah. Like this Logan? So Spidey, since we opened this in Jean Grey's pack, so Logan is the aggression hero who heals 1 every single turn and takes 2 consequentials, but swings and hits like a truck, which is exactly what you want to see. Also, has everyone seen the new Ryan Reynolds like tease or like for the new Deadpool? That was hilarious. If you haven't seen it, the trailer, it's so funny. It's so funny. It's incredibly great. I just love it. We've got another alt art here. We got Perseverance. So Perseverance is after you change form, give your hero a tough status card. So right there, if you have Perseverance, you're going to load up Colossus with 2 tough status cards. Hey, Hugh. It's so good. You want to... oh my gosh, it's great. You want to play Wolverine again? Yeah, sure. I love that eyebrow wiggle. Ryan Reynolds is a gift to humankind. All right, we got Mutant Protectors. This is the card that I wish Sneak Attack was. That man was born to be Deadpool. Totally agree with you there. Yes. Mutant Protectors, so play only if you have the X-Men trait. It's a defense card. When an enemy attacks, put an X-Men ally into play from your hand. Exhausted and declare it to the defender of that attack. So this combos pretty well with Nightcrawler, which is pretty interesting. So when an X-Men character would take any amount of damage, return them to your hand. If they survive the attack, they stay in play. So that's pretty interesting. It's a defense card, so you are able to play it and trigger all your defense upgrades. But when an enemy attacks, and so okay, so like check this out. Like literally, I am super pumped for this Colossus protection deck because you can throw Mutant Protectors, get Wolverine out for 1 cost when a 1/1 minion is attacking, and he's going to take that 1 damage, and then he's on the table. He's going to heal the damage, and then he's ready to go, and you got Wolverine in there for 1 cost. That's cool. That's really cool. What sleeves am I using? I am using the Dragon Shield Clear Matte sleeves. So this is what I use for all of my LCGs. I just buy them in bulk. They're really high quality. I've only had a couple of issues with them ever, but I like the matte because they don't slide. Like they're not slick. Whereas if you get the non-matte, I find that they kind of slide all over the table, and that's kind of annoying to me. Lucky, I saw someone complain in the Reddit about Jean's precon. Yeah, I think I saw that too. I haven't seen a ton of her precon. Like I did the Actually, I don't even think I did a preview for her. I don't think I was able to do a preview for her, but I looked at a ton. But yeah, we'll see. Her precon is apparently super expensive. Oh, really? Oof. We got defensive energy, max super deck. When you spin this card to play a defensive end, draw one card. Okay, now that is a good card. This is a good card because this is basically making your defensive ends free. Right? So most of your defense events are one cost. So yeah, you spend it and refresh your card or refresh your hand. That's awesome. That's incredible. Professor X, this is the card that I think will go in every single one of my decks going forward without a doubt. This card is incredible. So this is the new Nick Fury, the new Gandalf, the new Red Gloved Man, Professor X, 3 cost, which I think is so inexpensive for his 3 thwart. And after Professor X enters play, choose to confuse the villain. I guess like I didn't realize that there were other options because I don't see why I would use other options, but you can confuse the villain, stun a minion, or ready an X-Men character. Ready an X-Men character could be really solid, but confusing for 3 threat mitigation, and then at the end of the round, if Professor X is still in play, discard him. So he comes in, confuses, you're able to thwart for 3, he takes a hit. This card is bonkers. You don't even have to be an X-Men to play him, and that's what I think. I kind of wish that you had to be an X-Men or a mutant traded to play Professor X, because I feel like this card makes me now run like 39 card decks. I'm putting this card in my deck. Did this get shipped to you or did you go pick it up? My FLGS got it in today, so I went and picked it up today. So the X-Jet, I am really excited for the X-Jet as well. So this is the Quinn carrier for the X-Men's. So exhaust the S-Jet, generate a wild resource for a player whose identity has the X-Men trait. So it's the better version of the Quinn carrier in multiplayer and the worst version in solo, right? So you can't use the X-Jet when you're in alter ego form, but you can spread it out, which is really cool. I like that. Also, okay, so I guess I don't know the rules 100% on this one, and hopefully someone in the chat can help me out with this, but I'm assuming that I can use a resource on another player's turn. So I don't have to, it doesn't have to be my turn to play a resource or to exhaust this to pay for someone else's card. If they are going to play a card, I can exhaust the X-Jet for their card. Or do I need to be in my turn and I can exhaust for them to play only an event? I think it's the first one, but I want to make sure. Spidey Sense, would love to see a Deadpool hero pack just so I can maybe team him up with Wolverine just for the fun of it. Even though I primarily play True Solo. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, I want to see the Wolverine Deadpool team up card because that one seems like it needs to happen. That needs to happen. We got another copy of Shadow and Steel. So we can sleeve this guy up. And then we've got some more of our beautiful new alt energy, strength, and genius cards. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Homesick. So you can give to the Colossus player. You may flip to alter ego farm, choose to exhaust to remove this homesick from the game, or discard this card and each tough status card from your identity. If you discarded no tough status cards this way, this card gains surge. I'm flipping down, right? Like I think it's a very rare situation for me where I'm not flipping down with this card, even if I'm not exhausting. Because when you flip down, you get to shuffle one of his cards back into his deck, which is, he has a lot of really good cards. And when you flip back up, you get a tough status card. So, I mean, like, even if you are taking the second option, you're discarding all the tough status cards, which maybe one probably is one right through the villain phase. You've probably used one of your tough status cards, so max one. So you flip down, shuffle a card back, you get to flip back and replenish that tough status card. I feel like I'm never not flipping down with that card. I think they're gonna do X-Force since it's a 3-box release for X-Men. I do think X-Force is because there's a card that talks about X-Force heroes or X-Force characters, and we don't have one of those yet. Unless they, so Deadpool will be in that one if you had to guess. I'm guessing that Deadpool will be one of the hero packs because I feel like Deadpool is a really easy sell. Unless they do a box after the 3 boxes and do a Deadpool release, since like Spidey, he has a lot of versions too. That'd be kind of fun. Just a whole Deadpool cycle. That'd be pretty great. Alrighty, we got Juggernaut. This is his nemesis. Stalwart, toughness, 1/4 attack, and 8 hit points. That's a big boy right there. As a boost, if this activation is attacked, it gains overkill and piercing. I hate that. I hate those words. Rampaging Juggernaut. When revealed, discard each tough status card from each friendly character. Place 2 threat here for each tough status card discarded this way. Oof. Oof. And it has an amplify icon. Ouch. Ouch. We got 2 Unstoppables attached to the enemy with the highest printed attack without a copy of Unstoppable attached. Otherwise, this card gains Surge. When the enemy attacks, the attack gains overkill and piercing. At the end of the attack, discard Unstoppable. It also gives him +2 attack. That gives overkill. That's pretty tough. And piercing, which is brutal. Which I guess you could get over that by... Piercing is before the attack, you discard the tough status card from the defender. So if you have an ally that you're blocking with, say Professor X, they deal 7 damage. Professor X doesn't have a tough status card. That's when piercing takes effect, I believe, and then the damage will roll over and get soaked up by the tough. So probably, maybe Caleb is, or Cable. I read that as Caleb, like Caleb Grace. Maybe Cable. Yeah, I think I would like to see Cable. If he's not, Karoka, we're gonna riot. I'll be right there with you. And then slammed. You are stunned. If you're already stunned, take 2 damage. There's Colossus. Really solid stuff so far. I am so pumped for Colossus. Oof. It's good. I'm so pumped. I'm so pumped. It's gonna be so much fun. Also, look at all these P's. You got 3 of these cards are P's. I organized by alphabetical, so I always look at kind of that. Okay, now I'm only playing Colossus, my favorite hero and my favorite X-Men villain in one set. Take my money, FFG. Yeah, right. Just here you go. You just sign up. I signed up for my FLGS. Apparently, I didn't know until today. Has like a subscription type service where you can they'll hold on to stuff, because like I would get the text and I was just like rush down there, and it was like super traffic, so it was like 40 minutes. I'm like, oh my gosh, am I gonna get there in time? And they had 2 copies left of these packs, at least on the shelf. They may have had more in the back, but I was just like, but now I'm there, so whenever they come in, they'll have it. FFG is definitely getting my money. Dude, this closet to the right of me has so much of FFG's money. I've transferred so much of FFG's money, or my money, to FFG for that closet, because it has all of Arkham, all of Lord of the Rings, and Marvel Champions in it. I like defensive training. I think that's really solid. I'm most excited about Professor X in these cards. Professor X is so good. And then out of Colossus cards, Armor Up is the card that I'm most excited for. The one where you're in Alter Ego and you can flip. Because you flip, you get the tough status card. Awesome. Just awesome. Alrighty. Who should we do next? Phoenix or Colossus? Someone tell me who to open next. I'm excited for this campaign too. I loved the Sinister Motives campaign. Like the whole like reputation tracker and getting cool stuff. So I'm hoping that we see something that innovative in this one. So we'll see. Phoenix. Alrighty, here we go. Let's do Phoenix next. So Phoenix, Jean Grey. I don't think I did previews for Phoenix or Cyclops. So I think these both came out Oh, Bask, or BSAC. Thanks for the follow. I missed that. I'm sorry. I usually get a notification in my headphones. I usually hear it, but I did not, so I apologize. Thank you for the follow. Who's your favorite X-Men character? Nelson. Ooh. I really like Nightcrawler. I think he's just cool. I think Nightcrawler is pretty cool. Like, are you talking about just like not necessarily Marvel Champions X-Men, but just like from like lore? I think Nightcrawler is pretty cool. Seems like they have some nice scenarios. Yeah. Phoenix to end your misery. Alrighty, let's do it. Phoenix, a printed 3 thwart on a hero. Why not, right? Like, let's just go. Let's have some fun with this. I'm gonna drink some of my tea. Seems like that. Yeah, I think. What about you? What is everyone's favorite not necessarily Marvel Champions, but what is everyone's favorite X-Men hero just from the lore? Can't wait for Phoenix gameplay. Hey, Senor Tiz, how you doing? Oh, Gambit. Yeah, okay, that's fair. Gambit's really cool. Gambit probably, yeah, no, I change it. I forgot about Gambit. Gambit. Yep. Gambit. So for the gameplays, we're going to be doing one tonight. I'm hoping to get through all of them. We'll see. And then just throughout the next, like, this weekend, I'm streaming tomorrow morning, Sunday morning. And then I may squeeze in another stream at some point. We'll this weekend, trying to work out all of those plans. But then all next week is going to be Marvel Champions. And so we're going crazy. So it may become, we do the 4th hero spotlight, which would be Cyclops on Monday. So if we do one tonight, one tomorrow, one Sunday, one Monday, then starting on Tuesday, we will go through and we will do the campaign. We'll play through the campaign. And so not quite sure who we're going to play through the campaign with. It's obviously going to be an X-Men, but we'll start that at some point, probably either on Monday or Tuesday, depending on how many streams we get in this weekend. But it is going to be a giant Marvel Champions week. The only day that we're not streaming Marvel Champions is Friday, and that's because we are starting a new campaign. I'm starting a Dunwich campaign with a special guest. So I'm doing with a guest who has been on the stream before, but we're still working out all the details. But got a new Dunwich campaign for Arkham starting. So Gambit, Colossus, but Gambit is close second. Gambit's so cool. He's so cool. Yeah, everyone loves Gambit. Is there any world where they would make throwing cards mechanic if Gambit gets it back? I don't know if it'd be like rules as written, but I will definitely play that way. I will definitely be throwing cards. But alrighty, so Phoenix, a 3 thwart. So it's our first 3 thwart hero that we have seen. Printed 3 thwart hero. I don't think I'm lying when I say that. 1 attack, 2 defense, and then as a hero resource for Psionic Bond, we can remove 1 power counter from Phoenix Force to generate a wild resource. So love that. And then Jean Grey on her alter ego side, put your Phoenix Force upgrade into play. Restrain side face up, place 4 power counters on it. This is a setup ability, and then after you make a basic recovery, place 1 power counter on Phoenix Force. So incentivizing that basic recovery, actually making downtime a more viable play than crew quarters. So that's kind of interesting. Speaking of the Phoenix Force, so restricted side and unleashed side. So the restricted side, permanent, you have the restricted trait. After the last power counter is removed from here, flip this card, then you go crazy. So you get the unleashed trait. Phoenix gets -2 thwart and +2 attack, so she becomes a 1/3/2. So just adding to that flexibility. After a power counter is placed here, if there are 4 or more power counters here, flip this card. So you're flipping back and forth, and it just looks so cool. I remember reading about her. I was in a McAllister's, like that's the memory that I have about reading about Phoenix. I was in a McAllister's in Terre Haute, Indiana. That's what I was doing with my life. Alrighty, so Cyclops. Hey, it's time to preview Mutant Genesis. Hey, Maddie, how's it going? Yeah, dude, this looks so sick. Like, I am so pumped for all of these heroes. I'm pumped for the campaign. I'm pumped for Colossus. Looks so legit. Looks so freaking legit. Speaking of, here's Colossus. So it's a 3-2-2-3. After Cyclops enters play, place 2 power counters on Phoenix Force. Okay. So, so it's you're adding up to flip back, and you're reducing to flip over. So it feels very much like the Green Goblin scenario. That's not Colossus. It's not. Colossus we unboxed earlier, and Colossus looks, that's Shadowcat. Colossus looks so freaking cool. He looks so freaking cool. But Cyclops, force interrupt when Cyclops leaves play. Remove 2 power counters from Phoenix Force. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Did I say Cyclops again, or did I say Colossus? I'm getting mixed up now. I have not even been drinking, and this is happening. I'm just pumped. White Hot Room gives us more reason to go down to Alter Ego. Exhaust White Hot Room to choose to place 1 power counter on Phoenix Force or heal 2 damage from Jean Grey. Oh shoot, okay. Phoenix looks sweet because you can manage where you're gonna go. Like, if you want to flip this over, you can by using resources. That's how you take power counters off. And so, like, you're using the Phoenix Force, and then once you've used all of it, you go into crazy mode. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like that. I missed that interaction. Phoenix Suit. Phoenix gains the aerial trait. Okay, I like that. Gives us more access to aerial. While you have the restrain trait, you gain steady. While you have the unleash trait, you get retaliate 1. Ooh, nice. Rise from the ashes. When you would be defeated, remove this card from the game, ready your identity, and restore its printed hit points value instead. Remove each power counter from Phoenix Force. Well, there you go. Get out of jail free card. You hope you don't need it, but you have it when you do. Telekinetic Shield, 2-cost upgrade. Psionic. Was she a psionic? And so we've got X-Men. So team building exercise works here. So attached to a friendly character. When the attached character would take any damage from an enemy attack, place that damage here instead. Then if there's at least 5 damage here, discard Telekinetic Shield. Okay. So it's a buff of 5. And it's a friendly character, so it does not have to be placed on you, which is pretty cool. In solo, it's probably going to be placed on your hero. Or I guess, like, you could throw it on, like, Logan, right? You could throw it on Logan, and then he just gets a ton of attack. Huh. It's interesting. It's interesting. There are a few psionic characters. That's psionic. Great. Mental paralysis. Hero form only attached to a non-elite minion. Attached minion cannot activate. After you flip to alter ego form, discard this card. Sweet. I like that. Oh, the mind control. I remember this card. This card looks sweet. We also have not had any card that is double yet. So all of these are one-offs, which is kind of interesting. 4-cost upgrade. Don't have a lot of 4-cost hero cards. I can think of Webbed Up. I can think of a couple, but not a lot of 4-cost hero cards. Attached to a non-elite minion. Take control of the attached minion and treat it as a controlled ally with a blank text box. Its thwart is equal to its printed scheme, and it suffers 1 consequential damage after it thwarts or attacks. So situationally awesome. Also, it's kind of just like a big, like, middle finger to who am I thinking of? Who's Valkyrie's nemesis? Why can't I think of her name right now? Someone's gonna help me. I know they are. Enchantress, yes, thank you. It's like the opposite Enchantress. It's like hero form of Enchantress. Thank you very much, Maddie. War Machine is a 4-cost lady. Sif is a 4-cost. Wasp, Ant-Man is also 4-cost. They're mostly allies. Yeah, that's true. That is true. We do have a good amount of allies that are 4-cost. Alrighty. Next up, we have Telekinetic Attack. So this is an attack psionic. Hero action, deals 7 damage to an enemy. If you have the Unleashed trait, this attack deals 2 additional damage and gains overkill. Whoa, a 3 for 9. Wow, that's pretty cool. We got 2 of those on the Unleashed side. I can think of one 5-cost hero card. Thank you, Star-Lord. We really wanted one of those. Oh yeah, that's his ally, right? That's super expensive. Psychic Blast, so it's a hero action, psionic as well. So we've got a couple of 1, 2, 3, 4. We got a lot of team building exercise options here. But Psychic Blast, deal 4 damage to the villain. If you have the Unleashed trait, deal 4 damage to each minion engaged with you. Oh boy, we got 2 of those. This is pretty sweet. Phoenix may be who we play tonight. Well, he costs 2 plus an encounter card, technically speaking. What could go wrong? Yeah, I just still remember that, like, not even thinking about it, I played Star-Lord versus Ebony Maw for my hero spotlight, and Ebony Maw has so much surge in his deck. And I just ended up with like 5 to 7 spells in front of me, and it did not go well. Oh my goodness. Alrighty, Telepathic Trickery, 2-cost event. Thwart, remove 4 threat from a scheme if you have the Unleashed trait, stun and confuse an enemy. It feels like being an Unleashed is exactly what you want to be doing. I feel like I want to be an Unleashed. Phoenix Firebird. Also with Phoenix suit, you get the aerial trait, so that also opens up more options for allies when you're doing team building exercise. So yeah, Telepathic Trickery is like pheromones but better, riskier. Yeah, that's very true. Phoenix Firebird, we got 2 of these. This is a 1-cost event. It's a hero action. Choose to remove 1 power counter from Phoenix Force to Ready Phoenix, or place 2 power counters on Phoenix Force. Very cool. I am very excited for Colossus. She looks incredibly fun too, though. I'm really excited for her as well. This is gonna be a tricky one, but I'm feeling Phoenix is at the top of the list for who I want to play with tonight, because she seems crazy. Alrighty, let's look. She comes with a Justice deck. So we got Banshee. So this is a 4-cost ally. We got a lot of 4-cost allies. I don't remember who it was in the Discord today talking about how the X-Men allies are expensive, but it does change the meta a little bit where you're not using them to chump block, because you're using them for their abilities, because they're really, really good. So 4, 2, 2, 3. After Banshee thwarts, confuse a minion. Ooh, I like that. If someone at my table summons her Nemesis, I will yell at that teammate nonstop, and that's absolutely fair. Let's go ahead and just look at her Nemesis. Because before we go through here, because her Nemesis is such a huge part of her kit. So Dark Phoenix is her Nemesis. So if you pull Shadows of the Past and Dark Phoenix comes out, she's a 2/2/12, which I believe this is the highest printed hit points we have seen. You can get higher printed hit points with like the Sleeper, which is 5 per player, or minions like that, but this is just a straight up 12. I think the next one would be Mr. Hyde at 10, but seriously, that thing is worse than the Symbiote suit. Yeah, so Steady, Toughness, and Villainous. So it's a villain. It is a straight up a villain. When Dark Phoenix schemes, place that threat on Consume the World if able. When revealed, searching counter deck, discard pile, and set aside area for consume the world and reveal it. So consume the world is her minion side scheme. So this is yep. So it's the one that comes out, but if somehow Dark Phoenix comes out, maybe I think a Mysterio card has you pull out your Nemesis minion, it's gonna pull out this side scheme as well. So the side scheme Consume the World is a permanent side scheme, meaning that it cannot go away. While there's no threat here, this guy's side scheme loses the amplified trait, and then after threat is placed here, if there's at least 12 threat here, the players just lose the game. I love it. I love it. I think that's so cool. It's such, like, we're starting to see the designers like flex into new ways of like kind of pushing the limits of this game, and having a super powerful hero with a super powerful nemesis that just can lose you the game. It's another loss condition for this specific hero. I think is just a really cool way to do it. Literally the biggest nemesis in the game, bigger than Juggernaut. Yeah. Like when I'm playing, I hope that we see Dark Phoenix. Like when we're doing our hero spotlights, because I want to see Dark Phoenix. I want to see how that interacts with Dark Phoenix, but again, I don't want to see Dark Phoenix because gross. Oh my gosh. Comes in with 6. It's crazy. It is insane. It's so cool. It's so cool. And then we got 3 copies of this Fiery Rage card. So Peril. So meaning that no one can help you. No one else can cancel it. If Dark Phoenix is in play, she activates against you. If Dark Phoenix is not in play, place 1 threat on Consume the World. And this card gains Surge. It's so cool. It is many, I feel like many games are gonna go awry from the Dark Phoenix, or from Phoenix pulling Shadows of the Past. But that's one thing to think about when you're deck building. Bring treachery mitigation cards, right? So you're thinking about like Spycraft. No, Spycraft I think you can only play if you're a spy. Yeah, Spycraft is only when you can play a spy, but like Get Behind Me is one. Yeah, so when a treachery card is revealed, cancels when revealed, and the villain attacks you instead. So yeah, so Get Behind Me is an automatic addition and protection. Phoenix, anyone? Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. And just hope that you have it. No, you throw Get Behind Me. I'm trying to figure out how you could hold on to Get Behind Me, but or you just hope you run Phoenix alongside Black Widow. That's what you do. Look, Juggernaut just punches things hard. Dark Phoenix eats the world, so it's not fair. That's fair. Jocasta and Get Behind Me. Is Get Behind Me is Jocasta a... For some reason, I think Jocasta is a defense. Yeah, Jocasta can only grab defense cards. And Get Behind Me is not a defense card. It's just cool. Yeah. it'll be cool. I'm gonna bring a copy of a Test of Will from Lord of the Rings and just play it in this deck. I feel like that's the right move here. Alrighty, we got Marvel Girl. So Marvel Girl is a 3/2/1/3, and then whenever she attacks a minion, remove X threat from the main scheme where X is that minion's printed scheme. That's pretty cool. I like that. That's a lot of flexibility right there. That's a lot of flexibility, right? Because you can thwart for 2, or if there's a minion out there with two or more, then you get to... It's from the main scheme, which is a little restrictive, but that's fine. Okay, here's some more training cards. So we got Mission Training. So attached to an X-Men ally. Max 1 training ally gets +1 thwart and +2 hit points. That's huge. That's... Giving out +1 thwart to allies is really sweet. I'm enjoying that. Psychic Manipulation. Play only if you have the psionic trait. Interrupt when the villain schemes. The activation removes threat instead of placing it. Meh. I like it. Like, I like the idea, but it's like, it's so situational, I think. Right? Because it's a three cost, so it'd have to be removing like 6 threat. No, about 5 threat for me to like want it. So it's situational, and then it's also like, why would I not just run 4 justice? 4 justice is 2 for 5, right? 2 for 4. So I don't know. It's situational. Depends on the villain, I guess. Can't wait to see manipulation on enemies with a lot of boost cards. Venom. Oh, okay. Now that's a really good point. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, Venom. Yeah. Okay. I'm sold. You're stopping villain threat and you're reduced. That is true. Oh, that is true. Yeah, that is true, because it is also it's effectively a confuse. We'll try it. Why not? I think Jean is the only psionic card we have, so this can only be used in her deck right now. Well worth it. That said, 3 costs is fair. Yep. Lord of the Rings and Marvel Champions, a crossover I never thought I wanted to see. Mutant Peacekeepers. Play only if your identity has the X-Men trait. As a hero action thwart, exhaust your hero and any number of X-Men allies. Remove X threat from amongst schemes in play where X is the total thwart of those characters. Nice. Swift Retribution. So the villain schemes deal 4 damage to the villain. Is this a reprint? It is, yeah, because it has the car coming off the car. Strange Solutions. Well, I did beat Sabretooth on the second try with Jean. It was very close. I had to let a little damage hit the Senator. Ooh. And villains with steady and stalwart, it can be used to. That, yeah, okay. Yep. Hey, Descry, how you doing? For some reason, I did not see you say that. Stopping the villain threat and reducing it. Yeah. How you doing? I hate that the Senator needed to stay alive. I can't get over it. Passion for Justice. Max 2 per deck. Interrupt. When you spend this card to play a thwart event, that event removes 1 additional threat. I like the defense one better. Bummed out. My package is delayed. No, I'm sorry. When do you have a date at least for it? We got a 5 cost basic ally. So this is our third one. We have Dum Dum and we have Heimdall. I think those are the only 2 5 cost basic allies. Storm, a 2/2/3. Reduce this cost to play Storm by 1 if your identity has the mutant or X-Men trait. When Storm thwarts a scheme, move 2 threat from that scheme to another scheme. Very cool. I like it. And you're not planning to buy, so you're in the clear. Nice. I guess tomorrow. Okay. I heard, or someone was saying that Canada got delayed until the end of October. Cerebro. This is the bot in the Discord, so this is a good point, or this is a good time for me to say, if you have not joined the Discord, please do so. The link is in the bio or the description of the video, depending on where you're watching it, but it's a good time. Cerebro tells us all the cards we need to know. Play only if your identity has the mutant trait. As an alter ego action, exhaust Cerebro. Search the top 5 cards of your deck for an X-Men ally. Search your whole deck instead if you control a psionic character and add that ally to your hand. Awesome. Awesome. Love it. It is so on spec and just so thematic. It's great. Professor X was strong though. Yeah. Professor X, huge. So good. Storm removes 2 threat from the main scheme, but then puts it on his team. The world loses the game for everyone. We're going out on my terms. We are going out on my terms. Just Phoenix. Okay. Yep. Or Storm removes 2 threat from Consume the World and lets the main scheme advance and lose the game that way. She's really a detriment to everyone else at the table, but that's why we love her. Strange Solution Cerebro is a solid card for Jean. It is very, very good. I think she is. She has to be psionic in alter ego, right? Yeah. 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 And it's gonna be great for like a Cyclops. Just a really good card. D20 Cerebro, so good. How you doing? How you doing? 5-cost Storm, worth it? Maybe. It kind of depends, right? If you have a side scheme out there. So Strange Solutions and I were playing last night. We had a side scheme out that had a acceleration token on it and a bad wind defeated effect. And so we just decided, we made the decision to just ignore it, right? So Storm, at that point, we can load that side scheme up with as much stuff as we want and we don't have to worry about it. So Storm in that sense is thwarting 4 off the main, 2 goes away, and 2 goes back to the side scheme that we're ignoring. So if you're in a situation like that, I can see 5 being worth it, especially if you have ways to heal her. But 4 is a lot better. Like, I don't know if... I think it's very well priced. How about that? I think it's very well priced. So there are 2 versions of Cerebro, the idiot version and the actually this is how it works version. Yep. Fantastic. Waiting for your X-Men stuff to come in, so living vicariously through you. Do you have a date? Do you have a an idea of when that's coming in? I feel that. Sue Storm doesn't thwart, she shovels them around. So she thwarts and then moves too. So also, because she's X-Men traded, team training, I am saying team training is going to be a staple in a lot of these decks. So with team training, and if you're able to activate change team training, you're going to have the X-Men trait or the mutant trait. So she gets played for 3. At that point, she's a very solid value. You do have to have a side scheme out though. That's the problem, and that could be issues. Miniature Market says eventually, maybe sometime in the future. Miniature Market's like, I don't know. You'll get it when you get it. Stop complaining. Oh, it's 2 plus the shovel. I didn't know. Yes, it is 2, and then when she thwarts a scheme, move 2 threat from that scheme. That's how I read it. So 2 thwart takes 2 off, and then you get to move 2. So it's an effective 4 threat reduction from 1 scheme. I got mine from Miniature Markets too. They should have mine by Wednesday. Okay, well that's good. I visited Miniature Market last weekend. I was actually at their retail store in St. Louis last weekend. Psychic Rapport. Team up Cyclops and Phoenix, max 1 per deck. Ready Cyclops and Phoenix. Choose to either return a Cyclops card from your discard pile to your hand or place 2 power counters on Phoenix Force. Nice. That's nice. Nice. Vinyl Scratch, hopefully I get mine too. I would take that. Yeah. Dude, I'm so pumped. Hey, speaking of downtime, we got Alt Art Downtime. I like this a lot more. We're playing baseball. Play under any player's control, you have +2 recovery, so that is again incentivizing because Phoenix wants to play do a basic recovery. I can see the complaint here about not having a great precon. I don't think this is a super strong precon, but I think all the cards are really good in their own niche, right? So it works. The cards work spread out, but combined, it's very awkward. Why are you buying cards from Miniature Market? From a Miniature Market, that's fair. You're gonna start using downtime again, Nelson, instead of crew. And yeah, I mean, like for Gene, absolutely, or for Peter Porker, yeah, right, where you get incentivized for using your basic recovery. Then at that point, it is a better option for it. Burning Hunger. So this is our obligation. Look at that art. That is really sweet. I like that. When revealed, if you have the Unleashed trait, search the encounter deck discard pile and set aside area for Dark Phoenix and reveal her. Well, that sucks. Then remove Burning Hunger from the game. If you have the Restraint trait, remove 1 power counter from Phoenix Force and this card gains Surge. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool because whenever Dark Phoenix enters, you pull in Consume the World. So she has 2 ways Shadows and her obligation can pull that in. Yeah, that's some fun. Hey, Discard, thanks for the follow. That is, oh my gosh. Do you go unleash before you see those cards? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. That's scary. We're gonna find out. We're gonna play her tonight because she looks really sweet. I'm really liking her. Final scratch. I actually used to play the Batman miniatures game, but I found Marvel Champions through Miniature Market, and the rest is history. Okay, so we do have off aspect cards in her kit. So Psychic Assault. Play only if you have the Psionic trait, and then deal 3 damage to an enemy. Confuse the enemy. Oh, huge! We got Confuse in red. We got Confuse in red. Wow, for Jean. For Jean. Psychic Misdirection. Play only if you have the Psionic trait. Then, as a defense, Hero Interrupt. When an enemy attacks you, choose a different enemy. Damage from that attack is dealt to the chosen enemy instead of you. Oh, that's pretty sweet. I like that. Big fan of that. And it's a defense event, so you can... and it's a 2 cost for the Confused. Yes, that is huge. Because even like Justice doesn't have 2 cost Confused, does it? It just has 3. No, it has a 1. Think fast. That's a 1 and a damage for Guardian traded. But crazy. Psychic Misdirection is hilarious to me because it's a defense event, so you're not going to take any damage. You will not take damage because the damage is going somewhere else. So you trigger Unflappable, Hard to Ignore. You get to trigger all of this stuff. That's pretty cool. You got Psychic Kicker. Play only if you have the Psionic trait. I'm sensing like a theme here. I'm sensing a theme. Ready an ally. That ally gets +2 thwart and +2 attack for the next basic thwart or attack action this phase. Solid. That's very solid. Because it is a... yeah, it's a 1... or it's a 0 cost. Huh. Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. It's a 0 cost 2 thwart card. Yeah, I like it. Psychic Assault is just kicking concussive blow to the curb. Yeah, this is the whole Mystics are too good. Now it's the Psionic Sisters are too good. Oh, team up Phoenix and Storm. We don't even have Storm yet, but we got the card. Ready Phoenix and Storm heal 2 damage from each of them. Solid. Hey, Soul Sister. This is the train card. This is the train card here. Oh, righty then. Okay, so we've got all of these. These are going away. What about in here? Any cards that popped out to you that look super exciting that you're most looking forward to? I like this Psychic Misdirection. Or the Psychic Assault is really sweet too. Psychic Manipulation, Psychic Kicker, a lot of P's. A crap ton of team up. Yes, we're seeing a ton of team up cards. We have team up cards that are like Wolverine has a team up card with Colossus. Colossus also has a team up card with Shadowcat. So we're seeing heroes that have multiple team up cards, and I just love the fact that they're playing into the whole X-Men is a team, and they play so very well like that. And you see that a lot with their your the X-Jet, where you're generating resources for your team. You see it with X-Mansion, where you're healing your team. It's just cool. Would it be fair to just say I'm excited for every card in this wave? That is absolutely fair. You can absolutely say that. I love it. We got Downtime. I'm so happy that even though we're getting reprints, we are getting alternate arts. I'm happy for that. Hey, more peace. Mutant Protectors, Mission Training. Swift Retribution. Soul Sister. We got one more to open up and then we get to play the game. This is so much content. We haven't even opened up the villains. It's so much stuff. This is such an exciting day for Marvel Champions. I love it. drink some more tea. Alrighty, we got Cyclops. And no team up card for Wolverine and Phoenix yet. That might make me sad. Alrighty, we got Cyclops coming in hot. I love new cards. I absolutely love new cards. It's so much fun. Been practicing opening these packs for the stream. Just have so much trash off camera, just everywhere. Where are the hit points on Phoenix? 9. Okay, so she's a little squishy. So X-Men play like a team, but the Avengers are a bunch of selfish people. Got it. Yep. Shield is a team because they have Helicarrier. Helicarrier pays for people. Okay. Y'all ready for this? We got Cyclops. So Cyclops is a 2/1/2 hero. He has an optical blast. Attack. Spend 1 resource of any type. Deal 3 damage to an enemy with an upgrade attached. Limit once per round. Okay. Scott Summers. You may include X-Men allies from any aspect in your deck. Love that. Love that sentence. Constant training. Action. Search your deck for a tactic upgrade and add it to your hand. Limit once per round. Okay, so that's nice. It's nice it's not a setup. It's nice that you can activate it multiple times. Love how the laser beam is hitting the title. Oh, yeah. Oh, I didn't even notice that. That is really cool. Look at that. Good catch. Really good catch. Ah, that's cool. Hey, there's Phoenix. Kind of. We are getting back to where you're having the allies be other heroes that you want to put on the table at the same time, and so it's a dead card, which it's a very nitpicky thing. But Phoenix is a 3-cost 2/2/3. After Phoenix enters play, choose Cyclops card in your discard pile and add it to your hand. So she's a 2-cost hero, basically, or 2-cost ally. Ruby Quartz Visor. Exhaust this card, generate a lightning resource from your optic blast ability. That attack gains piercing and ranged. So limit once per round. So basically you're just able to activate this 3 damage every single turn once you put it on the table. I like it. After 2 rounds it pays for itself. Like in the yeah. Field Commander. So this is a title card. You take the first turn during the player phase. When your turn is done, play proceeds in player order starting with the first player. You do not take another turn. Each Cyclops upgrade attached to a minion loses the temporary keyword. That's pretty sweet because we'll get into what those are here in a second. The art looks fantastic. Yeah, the art in here is really cool. All of it. Like, I mean, just like even like the fiery rage. I just love the colors. I'm happy we're not getting like the what was it, Gamora art that they just like. I realized they clipped it from a comic book, but like this just looks so clean. This don't make sense. What is Scott wearing if not the optical quartz goggles? He's running around with his hands over his eyes. Okay, so we got Exploit Weakness. This is our first tactic card that we've seen. So attached to an enemy, max 1 per enemy. It's temporary, but if we have Field Commander on the table, it is no longer temporary. Increase the amount of damage the attached enemy takes from each attack by 1. So temporary, I believe, it should be in here, but I believe it says that it goes away at the end of the round. So, could be good. Card temporary must be discarded from play at the end of the round. Yeah. So if it doesn't have temporary, you throw one of these on an enemy, so it could be the villain. And so the villain's sitting there with, and just every single attack is increased by 1. Yeah, I'll take that. Nope. Each Cyclops upgrade attached to a minion loses the temporary keyword. So this would go on a minion like Dark Phoenix or something like that, but it would not. It would still be discarded at the end of the round for the villain if you put it on the villain. So maybe practice defense. Attached to an enemy, max 1 per enemy. Temporary, attached enemy gets -1 attack. Alrighty, I like it. 0 cost. And Cyclops fiber optic blast. I used to do fiber. That used to be my job. So optic blast, spend 1 resource of any type, deal 3 to an enemy with an upgrade attached. So that is only an no. Okay, so never mind. The other ones are attachments. Never mind. Priority target, 0 cost, attached to an enemy, temporary. When the attached enemy is defeated, the player defeated it draws 2 cards. Ooh, that's nice. I like that. I like that. We got full blast. This is a superpower. This is his first superpower, so I'm not quite sure if Death Focus is in play here. When you use your optic blast ability to exhaust Cyclops, this attack deals 8 additional damage and gains overkill. Alrighty, now we're cooking with fire. So now it's an 11 attack damage for 1 or 2 resources. And overkill. That's pretty cool. That's a lot of damage right there. We got Ricochet Beam, so this is another superpower. Deal 3 damage to an enemy. Deal 3 damage to an enemy with an upgrade attached. Okay. So if you combo Ricochet Beam with your Exploit Weakness, you get 2 of those. So Exploit Weakness then becomes a... Or the Ricochet Beam becomes a 4/4 to the villain. And then Cyclops can hit it for another 3. I can see how it works. I think it was Jason. I think you were saying, and I do agree with you that I feel like just from looking at Cyclops, he feels like he's being pulled in 2 different directions, right? He looks like he wants to do these tactic cards and also build around the allies. And I'm wondering if your allies are there to solve all the problems while Cyclops works on the tactics. We'll see. Well, we're cooking with lasers, but who's counting? That's fair. Nice. Tactical Brilliance. 2 cost thwart events. Remove 3 threat from a scheme. Choose a tactic card in your discard pile and add it to your hand. Like it. I like how much recursion he has with these tactics cards. That's really nice. He gets 3 of those. Okay, that's nice. I'm interested to see how he plays. I love the fact that he can include minions from everywhere, but his kit doesn't deal with minions. Or doesn't, I'm sorry, allies, but his kit does not deal with allies. And so we'll see. Maybe it does kind of look like he has 2 thwart though. He's one of those that I'm just going to have to play. Is Cyclops the douche boss who lets his allies chump block, or does he defend to give his allies room? No, I'm pretty sure he's chump blocking every day of the week. He's got to protect himself. Let's look at his obligation and his minion set. Lost Visor. That's cool art too. I like that art. Lost Visor. So search your hand, deck, discard pile, and play area for Ruby Quartz Visor and place it face down under this card. Cyclops cannot attack. Alter Ego action, exhaust Scott Summers. Add Ruby Quartz Visor to your hand and remove Lost Visor from the game. It's like, I mean, that's not bad if you don't have Visor. It's a way to tutor your Visor, I guess. Like, I guess that works. Lost Visor is my glasses. I can't see without my glasses. Yes. We've got Mr. Sinister, a 1/1/6, stalwart, toughness, and villainous. So the toughness is that doesn't seem overly scary to me. Genetic manipulation. When defeated, search the encounter deck and discard pile for gene therapy and reveal it. Shuffle. It has an amplify icon. Gene therapy. Attach the enemy with the lowest printed attack without a copy of gene therapy attached. Otherwise, this card gains surge. When the Attached enemy attacks. The attack gains overkill and piercing, and at the end of the attack, discard gene therapy. Again, not the worst card. Concussive Force. When revealed, alter ego. If Mr. Sinister is in play, he schemes. Otherwise, place 2 threat on the main scheme, and he attacks you, or you take 2 damage in hero form. That could be bad. After Dark Phoenix, no nemesis is gonna be. Yeah, that's fair. It's all perspective. It is all perspective. Emma Frost looked like a pain though. Alrighty, we got Beast. 4 cost, 2/2/3. Don't like that so far. After Beast enters play, search your deck and discard pile for a resource card and add it to your hand. I do like that. Yeah, I like that a lot. I think situationally good, but I still think pretty good. You don't have to be an X-Men to play them, and so you could go grab like what's Rocket's card? Rocket has, you could go grab energy absorption for Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel is gonna love this, right? That's great. There's some, like, you could grab Strength Energy Genius or Power Of or something like that, but I do think there are some hero specific cards that's really nice. We got Dust. It's a 3/1/1/3. Hate that stat line. But when Dust attacks a minion, she attacks each minion in play. Dust takes +1 consequential damage after this attack. Great for Ultron, I guess, but I'm not a huge fan of Dust. With characters of good resource, maybe Black Panther 2, Beast is going to be a beast. Yeah, Black Panther's a really good one. Yeah, with Vibranium. Yes. We got Rock Slide. It's a 4 cost, a 1/3/6. Retaliate 1, a 6 hero with 3 attack. With Retaliate. I like that. I actually like Rock Slide. Because you sit him out there and he just defends against minions. Yeah, he's your minion. He's a victor for you, but with Retaliate. Protective Training with Rock Slide, that's big. Oh, yes. Protective Training. Really good call there, yeah. Or Mutant Protectors. Dude, Mutant Protectors, that Rock Slide. So when an enemy attacks you, put an X-Men ally into play from your hand. Exhausted, declare the defender. So a 1 cost for a 4, you get to put it into play with Retaliate. Again, probably throw it in when a minion's attacking you, so you know it's going to be like 1/2 damage. Retaliate on that, and you get him in for 1 cost. If you throw Protective Training on him, he gets +3 hit points. He's up to 9. You don't have to worry about a minion for a while. I like that. That's cool. That's really cool. I am Groot. I mean, Rock. Yes. We got Blindfold. So 3/2/0/2. After Blindfold enters play, look at the top 5 cards of the encounter deck. Discard 1 of those cards and put the rest back in the same order. Auto include for Gene. Could be. Danger Room Training. Attached to an X-Men ally. Attached ally gets +1 thwart, +1 attack, and +1 hit point. Yeah. I'll take that. I'll take that all day. Coordinated Attack. Attack to a... Oh, this is another tactic card. So we're getting tactic cards. I am not convinced that we don't have other tactic cards out there. Like, I guess that's just like a keyword I don't look for. Does someone else know if we have other tactic cards or if they've just started printing them in Cyclops' pack? I don't see any in the cards we've looked through today. Inspired is having a rough day. Yeah. That's true. But Danger Room and Inspired, now that's having a good day. So Coordinated Attack attached to a minion, max 1. Each ally takes -1 consequential damage when attacking the attached minion. Oh, that's cool. And it's not temporary, so it doesn't go away. Barricade is a tactic card, but that's an art. Fair. 0 cost. Leadership event for teamwork. When you use your basic thwart power or basic attack power, exhaust an ally. You can. Oh, we've seen this before. This is a reprint. To add your power to that use. So there's a more room for Logan, right? So with Logan taking the 2 consequentials and healing, there are more tactics. Okay. Hey, Brent. Hey, Brent. There are a lot of other tactics cards. I'm not sure how many of them are upgrades though. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so teamwork. Let Logan heal a little bit before you swing it with him again. Effective leadership. Interrupt when you spin this card to play an ally. That ally gets +1 fort and +1 attack until the end of the phase. Okay, I can see some command training spam with that. I'm a big fan. Civic duty is an upgrade attack. Oh, okay. Huh. Civic duty is the one that gives you, it's the basic upgrade that gives you +1 thwart whenever you discard it. I never would have guessed that. Hey, Dark Slim, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. I know I wish I could change my screen name to the Brant, but I don't even know. But I don't know how. I'm Twitch. That's fair. Huh. We got Angel, a 3-cost 1, 2, 3, and he's a 2. Yeah. He's a 2-cost ally for a 1, 2, 3. If you have the X-Men or Mutant. I like it. I like it. I do think that we have a lot of really good allies for X-Men. Defensive stance is also an upgraded tactic. Okay. Huh. Huh. Okay. Okay. So there could be a couple of interesting ways to use that. We got Utopia. If each of your allies has the X-Men trait, increase your ally limit by 1. After an X-Men ally enters play, ready an X-Men character by exhausting this. Awesome. Awesome. Love that. Grabbing his own cards is really fine. Yeah, and that's kind of... Yeah, I didn't know if there was anything... a niche situation out there that you want to grab something else, but his own cards look way good. I think we only have 3 or 4 tactics outside. That's fair. Probably a safe keyword to use. Alrighty, Danger Room. Alter Ego response after an X-Men ally enters play. Exhaust Danger Room. Search your deck and discard pile for a training upgrade and attach it to that ally. Any player whose Alter Ego has the mutant trait may trigger this ability. I think I like it. I think it's nice to be an it's gonna be a good Alter Ego. Yeah, it feels a little hard to pull off. And I'm thinking true solo at this point, right? So in a multiplayer game, in a 4-player game, yeah, that's awesome. That's great. That's great. Game time. Choose an ally with a training upgrade attached. Ready that ally and heal 1 damage from it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, big fan of that one. Well, this is just gonna be Wolverine. This is gonna be just boost Logan, give him attack training, just heal him, and just let him go. Just let him go. He's gonna have fun. Just let him do his thing. Well, now you can get 9 health Rock Slide easily with Danger Room. Yeah, that is true. Yeah. Yeah. I really want a 9 health Rock Slide. That seems so fun. Nice. So Cyclops and Phoenix. I guess I didn't look. Yeah, no. Okay, yeah. Ready Cyclops and heal. So yeah, we saw that already. Got our energy, strength, energy, genius cards. Love it. Brant, I will tell you, when you get to Magneto, the best tip I can have is do not give up. He comes out swinging hard, but you can come back to get the W. Do not scoop. Alrighty. That does not sound ominous whatsoever. But yeah, okay. I appreciate it. We'll get there. I'm hoping to get there probably late this week, early next week. The Logan ally is like the heroic version of Dark Phoenix. It's like having 1 additional hero in the game. Yes. Yes. Oh, hey, we got more tactics. Attached to a minion, max 1 per minion. Attacks against attached minion gain overkill. Cool. Okay. Oh, yeah. Nah. Situationally good. I went from really liking that to not being so hot on that to okay. Like, I could see that because now we're seeing this marked with what is the card I'm looking for? Gatekeeper. Not Gatekeeper. What am I thinking? Yeah. You're gonna eat mental and you're gonna crap Wolverines. Yes. Befuddle. Attached to a minion, max 1 per minion. When a character makes a basic attack against basic attack against attached minion, that character uses their thwart instead of their attack. Oh. Okay. Okay. Jean likes it when she's not going crazy. Pin down, attach to a minion. Oh yeah, here we go. Dude, protection is getting so much love. I am really liking the protection cards that have been coming in this pack. Attach to a minion, max 1 per minion. Attached minion gets -2 attack. Yeah. That's awesome. Okay, so this is actually gonna be a fun. I see a dirty Spider-Woman deck with these pin downs and bring its. You just let them sit out there. If you have minions that are doing less or 0 attack now, you just let them sit there. Once you have 3 of these out, then bring it draws you 3 cards minimum. That'd be a fun Spider-Woman deck. Honorary X-Men. Play only if your identity has the X-Men trait. Attached to a friendly character, max 1 per character. Attached character gets +1 hit point and gains the X-Men trait. I feel like I've read that before. Oh, look at this. The perfect amount of sleeves. Yes. Well, that makes me happy. Look at that. Perfect. Alrighty. Okay, some really cool cards. Some really, really interesting cards. I think it's a whole new way to look at the game with the tactic upgrades and everything. So I'm excited to see how it works. We'll have to play around with it a little bit. So next up, what we are going to do is we are going to start and we are going to play Jean. We're going to go with Jean tonight. I'm not sure how many games we're going to get through, considering that was a 2-hour-long unboxing. That was a lot longer than I was expecting it to be, which is absolutely fine. I had a blast doing it. So we will play Jean. I promise you we'll get at least 2 games in. And then we'll see how many games we can get after that. She may just lose immediately, so that is a whole nother thing that we could consider. But I'm going to go to the B-Reg back screen. I'm going to go refill on my drinks. I'm going to clean up a little bit. When we come back, we're going to play Jean. Yeah, we're going to play Jean. Someone give me a villain to play against. And actually, Brant, if you're still in the chat, is there a villain that is a good test villain in the new set? And so what I mean by that is it's not something that's crazy. It's not a red skull that just kind of breaks the game, breaks the rules a ton. Is there something that you would recommend that I do kind of a test build out? Sabretooth is like that. He does have like Kelly that he has to defend, which is a little more, but curious if you have a suggestion. Okay, so I hope if I played a non-X-Men character tomorrow, someone could play an honorary X-Men and let me feel like I belong. I love it. Cassian, are the rules for heroic printed anywhere? I see everyone reference it, but I haven't seen anyone talk about what it is yet. Heroic are like heroic 1? That's what I'm kind of thinking when you say heroic, like it's the style of play where you heroic 1 you deal an extra encounter card per player. Heroic 2 is 2 extra encounter cards per player. That's something I love about this game. Even though many heroes can get printed with the intention to use in the decks they come with, they will always manage to make older heroes even better. Yes. Nice. Well, except for my Hulk. R.I.P. my boy Hulk. Yep. Yeah, I'm so excited to get her in a month. Yes. You know, there is a way to decide who you should play. Marbles. I don't even know how. That's just magic for D20. D20 does magic with marbles. I don't know how he does that. It's like Fight Club. We don't talk about it. That's fair. Probably the X Mansion one, but my favorite definitely being Knight of the Sentinels. The X Mansion one. Okay, so let's try X Mansion. Let's see who did that. All right, it's just dealing more encounter cards. Why does everyone know what it is? Because so what it was a big thing back when we were doing, or like back before Galaxy's Most Wanted, pretty much, when people thought the game was too easy, and so it was a way to make the game a little bit more difficult. Mansion Attack, rather, number 4. Alrighty, we'll try Mansion Attack. We'll try Mansion Attack with Jean. See how she plays a little bit. I'm gonna go be right back screen. I'll be back in probably, I don't know, 5-10 minutes. So see you all very soon. Peace.